What's up? Welcome to the Living Luppy podcast. My name is Luppy. We're living, and this is a podcast. See how all those parts come together? It's genius, really. Hey, I'm glad you're here. This is the Living Luppy podcast where we watch a fat musician try to lose 200 pounds. So that is me. I am the fat musician, and this is the 200 pounds I'm trying to lose. Yeah, so that's what it's all about, man. I'm glad you're here. We're going to talk about some things. Not some things, we're going to talk about some things. And we're going to talk about what holds us down, what keeps us down. We're going to talk about our addictions and our food addictions specifically. And all that. Have a good time. So, thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. This is going to be a good show. We're going to talk about some things. In this show, we're going to weigh in like we do always. Not all of us. I am going to weigh in. You're welcome to weigh in at home as well. But don't feel the pressure to do that. It's mainly me who will weigh in. And I'm going to weigh in. We're going to talk about the week. In the battle notes, we are going to discuss The Dark Knight. Now I'll get into that in a minute. And then we're going to take a break, and we're going to hear a word from our sponsor and listen to my song Contentment, which is the song of the month. And then I'm going to give you a health fact that I found on the interwebs and leave you with a challenge of the week. So that is how the show is going to go, yo. Uh-oh. Whoa. Those words all rhymed. All right. So let's get right into it. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty, and let's check in the weigh-in. I weighed in this morning. Let's see how it went. All right, so there you have it, 430.6. So rounding up, we're going to say 431. So technically, I didn't really lose any weight this week. So holding steady at 431. The body fat seems to be creeping up a little bit. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but it's at 51%. That's pretty high. So let's get into it. Let's talk about why I didn't lose weight this week. Oh, lordy. It is hard sometimes. And I had a good week in most ways. Got a lot of things done, accomplished a lot of things. I am moving more towards a whole food diet. Actually, not really moving towards. I'm pretty much there now. I'm eating fruits and vegetables and nuts, seeds, beans, whole grains, except I'm not eating whole grains right now because I'm eating gluten-free. So for those who haven't watched the last week's episode, I am trying to eat gluten-free for 3 weeks just to see if that helps me feel a little better. What do I need to feel better in, you ask? Thank you for asking. The answer to that is I've been kind of tired, kind of having a hard time getting up in the morning. I just want to stay in bed all day. And not in a depression way, in an actual tired way. So there's that. I'm having some brain fog, clarity of thought. I'd like to be able to think a little clearer. And then the third thing is, I can't think of it. I have tired. I have brain fog. Oh, and the third thing is just heart palpitations, general, like kind of chest feelings. I just get these palpitations. It's a lot better than it was before I quit drinking and eating better and stuff, but I still have days where I get this kind of chest feeling. I've been checked out, my heart's fine, but I just still have these feelings where I have heart palpitations and just, I don't feel right. And I'm really thinking it's probably something I'm eating. So I was trying the gluten to see if that was the cause. And so my report for the first week of eating gluten-free is that I haven't noticed any kind of difference. And actually, if anything, I felt better before I stopped eating gluten. Now, that's probably nothing to do with the gluten. That's probably just other things I was eating more of. Cheese being the main thing. So there's certain things I want to keep an eye on and try. And so I'm taking out the gluten first. I'm going to give that a few more weeks. I was concerned about eggs. I'm starting to think eggs aren't the problem either. Next will be just dairy in general. If I can, I'm going to try to go a few weeks without cheese. But right now, that seems nearly impossible because I'm leaning heavy on the cheese right now. It's kind of my one treat every day. So you have to kind of look forward to the foods you eat. I like eating vegetables, and I like eating good, and I like eating quinoa, nuts, and beans. But sometimes you need something that's really satisfying, and that's what cheese is my go-to for that right now. So eating a diet without cheese seems kind of tough right now, but we'll see. Let's get through the gluten part first. The good news is I've discovered that I could totally eat gluten-free for life if I needed to. I figured out how to make pizza, so I made pizza a couple times this week. And that was the biggest thing that I wasn't sure if I could do without. And so, rice crust, bam, pizza. So that's good. But other than that, I haven't really been feeling a whole lot better. So I'm not sure that gluten is going to be an issue for me. But we'll see. We've got a couple more weeks to go. But other than that, I still am struggling with eating at night, overeating at night. And that actually brings us to our battle notes. Ba-ba-da-da, these are the battle notes. Do the battle notes. I don't know. All right. There's the song. We're still working on that. All right. So today in the battle notes, we're going to talk about the Dark Knight. That's right. And the Dark Knight is referring to my night last night. And this is something that happens often, probably a couple times a week. Sometimes I can keep it in check. Sometimes it gets a hold of me, and sometimes some nights are darker than others. But last night I had one of those nights, and I knew it was coming even midday. So here's what happened. I had a pretty good day. I got a bunch of stuff done. I was feeling good about that. Mowed my lawn, got some exercise, did some things around the house, did some work, and then it was time to go to the gig. I was playing a Rat Pack night at 119 North in Kirkwood. Shout out. That's with my boy Jim Manley and my boy Dean Christopher, and we do that once a month, and it's a lot of fun. It's actually a fun gig. But I was already stressing about, before the gig even happened, I was already stressing about what I was going to do after, because the gig's over at 9:30. What I want to do is come home and pig out and watch a movie. That's what I want to do. That is the only thing I can think to do to have fun at night. Now, I know that sounds stupid. I know that there are other things. Hey, Luppy. Hey, what? Why don't you try coming home and reading a book? Why don't you try coming home and not watching TV? Why don't you try just coming home, reading, and going to bed? You could come home and take a walk. You could come home and call somebody. You could come home and just get on Facebook for a little bit and then just go to bed. Just go to bed. Just go to bed. And I can't. None of those things sound at all fun. I want to come home. I had a day I did a lot of work, and I did my job, and I entertained the people, and it was cool. But I want to drink the whole time I'm there. And I'm not going to. That's not going to happen. So when I'm done, I just want to get out. I want to get out of there. And that just puts me in a bad mood. And then people want to talk. And of course they want to talk. That's great. I should be able to just relax and just talk to some people. But I just get so worked up about not drinking and how it's not fair and I don't get to do the one thing I want to do. So I have a pity party for myself. And I try to keep that in check, but it takes me over sometimes to where I just want to get out of there after the show and just get away from the bar, and usually that's better. But then I want my reward for not drinking. So if I'm not going to drink, there has to be something. I have to do something. So if I'm not going to drink, then I want to eat. And I have not been able to find a way to do anything else. Anything kind of in a healthy way. If I'm not going to drink, then I'm going to eat. And it even hit me before I went to the gig yesterday. And it just grew and got worse and worse. And by the time I was done, I'm like, screw this. I'm done. I'm going to go get a pizza, some chips, and some gluten-free cookies. And I'm going to go home. I'm going to watch a movie. I'm just going to relax and eat. I fought it and fought it. I yelled at myself. I got pissed at myself. And then I was like, this is stupid. Just do it. So I just decided I'm just going to go do it. Dropped my pen. I'm going to just go do it. So I did. I went and got a gluten-free pizza. I stayed to my rules. You know, I got gluten-free pizza. I got chips and a taco dip. And then I got some gluten-free cookies. And I came home and I cooked the pizza and I put it all around me. And I'm like, this is going to be awesome. I found a movie on Netflix. And I just zoned out for an hour and a half and shoved every piece of all of that into my face. I ate the entire pizza. I ate the entire thing of taco dip, which was like a pretty decent size container. Probably should have been 2 servings at least. I ate the whole thing, half a bag of chips, and then I ate a row of cookies. I didn't eat the whole package of cookies, so that's good. I did stop myself there. But I did have like probably 10 cookies. This little stack of cookies. Which, by the way, were really good. The gluten-free cookies were awesome. But that was at least 3,000 calories of food. At least. Probably 35 around there of calories that I ate. After my whole day was done, I ate dinner. I ate before I went to my gig. I had probably 1,500 calories during the day. So I come home, eat 3,000, 3,500. That's 5,000 calories. I can't do that every day. It's not okay. Now, look, I know I talk a lot about loving yourself and not shaming yourself. And so this is where I have a problem. I walk this line where I'm not going to be mad at myself and I'm not going to shame myself. But at the same time, that can easily turn into justification for doing it again. That easily turns into an excuse. Well, I'm a human, I need something, so I guess, hey, I didn't drink, so that's good, so what if I eat, And there is a little bit of truth in that. If you have to choose one or the other, I'm going to choose food over alcohol every day because alcohol is a real problem for me. And it led to a lot of other health issues, so I need to not drink, so that's good. But I use that as a justification to eat every night. And then I don't do it every night, but I do it most nights. So even today, I have a gig tonight. I get done at 8:30. I'm already stressed about it. I'm already worried about it. What am I going to do? Am I going to be able to stick to good food and not freak out tonight? Or am I just going to get depressed and give into it? It's an addiction. It's a habit that just has a hold of me. I don't know what else to turn to. I feel a little lost. I feel a little frustrated. I feel a little stupid. I feel weak. I feel dumb because I know that it's not good for me. I have all the knowledge at my fingertips. I know what I'm supposed to do, and I can't do it. And I repeatedly do this every night. There's some level of overeating every night. I never just come home and just eat something and then, read a book and go to bed lately. lately. It's been every night to some degree. Maybe I don't eat the gluten-free cookies every night, but I have a really hard time with it, and I can't, for the love of God, find any kind of substitute for it. And then I know people tell me all the time, what about this? What about that? And I'm like, yeah, I have a whole list of things. I know that there are other things I can do. But when it comes down to it, I want to go to my go-to comfort thing. I've had a hard day. I'm either stressed, anxious. That's a whole nother thing. It's the anxiety and fear that I have about my health. There's my elbow hurts. I'm scared that it's going to get so bad that I'm not going to be able to play the piano anymore. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm a hypochondriac, so I go right to the worst thing. I'm taking care of it. I'm icing it. I'm trying to do everything I can, but I'm worried about my elbow. I'm worried about my feet. I can barely walk sometimes because of my plantar fasciitis, and I know that's because I'm fat. And I have to lose weight for that to go away. I'm worried about my voice. I got sick 4, 5, 6 months ago, and ever since then I lost my falsetto. And I should probably go to the doctor, but I don't have money to go see the doctor, so I'm stressed about money. I don't know how many of you know my story, but I quit my job that I had for lots of good reasons, and I don't regret it at all. But ever since then, I've made significantly less money, and I have a lot of debts that I'm getting calls for every day. It's stressful, really stressful. And I'm doing good. I'm chipping away at it. I'm getting close, but it stresses me out. And at the end of the day, I want to do something fun. And that's food. That's food in a movie. Food in a movie. Food in a movie. Food in a movie every freaking night. And I'm sick of it, and I don't know how to change it. I am trying. I get up every day and I try again. I don't give up. I get up in the morning and I'm like, all right, today's going to be different. But it's the definition of insanity, because every night it tends to be the same thing. And then, I think the food is a lie. Like, that's going to be fun. It's fun while I'm eating it, and then as soon as I'm done, I'm pissed that I ate it. So then I end up feeling worse. And then I go to bed feeling kind of physically gross and mentally gross. I'm like, all right, tomorrow's a new day. And we get up and we're like, okay, today's going to be different. And then I go through the same thing. And I get, to my gig. And sometimes my gigs are fun. I have fun on my gigs sometimes. I'm not saying like I just hate my job. That's not what I'm saying. I'm very blessed to be a musician and to be able to play with some of the people I play. I play with my friends every day. It's awesome. I do like my job, and I like my gigs. I'm thankful for the work. It's not that. It's just that, what do you do then? What do you do after? Because I used to just keep drinking. And now I don't have that, so what do I do? So that is the dark night. And there's a lot that goes into that. Darkness, mainly depression. So this is the cycle I find myself in. I'm depressed because I know I'm going to eat all this food, and that's going to make me feel depressed. But then if I think about, well, then just don't do it. We'll just go home, we'll read a book and go to bed. Well, then I'm going to be depressed because I didn't get to eat. So I'm going to be depressed either way. I'm going to be depressed if I don't get to eat. I know that sounds like whiny fat boy can't have his food. I know what that sounds like. And I know that that's ridiculous. And I know that there's people who would love to have 1/10 of the food I eat every day. I know all that. And that makes me hate myself even more, because I'm being so selfish. And I'm just giving in. But I have to struggle with this depression feeling of like, if I don't get to do it, then my life's going to suck. So I do it, and that's kind of fun. And then I'm depressed because I did it. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. And so that is the dark night. That happens 2 or 3 times a week for sure. And I don't know what to do about it. So the only thing I know is I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep getting up every day and trying new things and researching new things and find a new thing to try. I don't know. And maybe one day I'll be able to come on here and claim victory over that. I know I can because I have before in the past. I've broken that habit in the past. But I'm having a really, really hard time with it. I don't want you guys to worry about me. I'm fine. I'm still pretty happy about life, and I'm doing a lot of awesome things that I'm excited about. It's not like I'm just wallowing in my self-pity all day. It's not like that. Life is pretty awesome. I'm working. I have great gigs. I have great students that I get to teach, and I'm working on my own music and stuff again. And so overall, it's great. Sirens. But this is just something I struggle with still. And I just wanted to be honest and talk about it. So anybody else who's dealing with that nighttime eating thing, you are not alone, dude. I'm right there with you. All right, so thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to my ramblings there. I appreciate it. And again, I appreciate everybody who's commented and sent things to me throughout the week and told me their stories. And it's good to know you're not alone, and so I hope you guys know that too. All right, so it is time. We're going to take a little break and hear from our sponsor. If you'd like to sponsor the show, please reach out to us at livingluppy@gmail.com. That's Luppy, Luppy. You can also message us at the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/livingluppy. Again, Luppy is always Luppy. You can hit us at Twitter, Luppy1, Luppy1. So yeah, let us know if you'd like to get your product advertised here on the show. In the meantime, let's see what we got in store this week.
This is the Jim Manley, Chris Swan Duo.
Mr. Saturday Dance. Heard they crowded the floor. In other words,
For booking information, call 314-616-0760.
Chasing my shadow like my only friend.
Yeah, dude. I dig that song. That's an awesome song. All right, this is getting old. I keep saying that every week. Hey, who is that, Luppy? Well, that's Luppy. That's me. Anyway, that is my song, Contentment. Every month on the show, I feature one of my songs. And because I am trying to lose weight, and it is a health and fitness show, but it's also a little bit of a music show because I'm a musician. And I want that aspect to be here as well. So that is my song, Contentment. You can pick that up on iTunes and put it right in your playlist. You can put it in your workout playlist and have Luppy in your ears. I'm burping. That's why I'm stopping every second like that. I was going to try to hide it, but I just can't hide it. Sometimes you got to burp. Anyway, on iTunes, Contentment. Pick it up, 99 cents, bam, in your headphones, in your workout playlist, Luppy in your ears, all day, every day. All right? All right, well, welcome back to the Living Luppy podcast. I'm glad you guys are here. It's good times. We are at the point of the show where we talk about the health fact of the day. Every week on the show, I find a health fact on the internet. I don't research it at all. I don't do any work for this. I just pick it out and I just assume it's true. So make sure you take it with a grain of salt. But I do find things that do seem to make sense. And this one is one that hits home for me for sure. Today's health fact is severe depression can cause us to biologically age more by increasing the aging process in cells. Did you get that? There's a lot of science in there. Severe depression can cause us to biologically age more by increasing the aging process in cells. So I definitely struggle with depression. There's been times in the past where it's had much more of a hold on me, where I would call it severe back in the day. And I was able to get some counseling from some really awesome people. And I worked on a lot of things that were keeping me down. And this was, 15 years ago now, probably. But it was really bad there for a while. I was in a very dark place for a while there, and I knew that I had to do something. And my family and friends encouraged me, and I found a really great counselor and worked through a lot of that stuff. And shout out to New Beginnings Counseling. If you're looking for someone to talk to, Bill Kuntz is a great dude, a good guy, good counselor, and really helped me a lot in a very dark time. But now we're finding that there is actually health-related problems that come from depression, which makes perfect sense. And here, that severe depression causes you to age. That makes perfect sense. Just like stress, just like anxiety, any of those things. If you don't keep them in check, they're gonna wear on you, and they are gonna make you age quicker. Depression is one of those things, and I'm just super thankful I found some help. I got dealt with some issues, and I learned a lot of tools that I still use to this day to battle the depressive thoughts. I'm also on some medication, which I'm saying if you have a problem with depression, do not be afraid of medication. Some people need it. I know like a lot of people don't want to put chemicals in their body and don't want to be dependent on drugs of any kind. I get that, and for the most part I agree with that. Like, try to naturally fix your problems, and there is a lot you can do nutrition wise to battle depression. Mainly nuts. Good fats, omega-3s, nuts, olive oil, avocados, stuff like that. Just a good diet. The greens, they're gonna help you too. But some people need more than that, and there's two things you should do and not be afraid of. One is get counseling. Find a good counselor. You need to talk this stuff out. I think everybody in the world should do some counseling just to get their stuff intact. There's still people that are scared to do it because they think it shows weakness or something. We're all human beings, dude. We're not perfect, and we got stuff we got to deal with. You got to let that go. You'd be surprised how many people are doing it, and maybe not talking about it. So you're not alone by any means. So if you have a problem with depression, you need to get someone to talk to. Secondly, that someone might help you decide if you need some medication to get things in check. I know I did, and it helps me immensely. And now I feel so much better. I'm motivated. I'm excited about life again. I got things to do. Yes, I have my moments, sure. I have those dark nights, no doubt. But I know better how to deal with them and not let it send me down into a spiral, I used to just let it spiral me right down into the pits. And now I know to stop those thoughts, change them to positive thoughts. There's things you can do proactively to keep yourself from spiraling down like that. So I feel for you if that's something you're dealing with, because I deal with it too. And there's a lot more people in the world that do than you probably realize. So my challenge of the week this week is to deal with your depression. If you're one of those people that are struggling and you just don't feel right and you can't get motivated, I would say first things first, find a counselor who can help you wade through these problems. Figure out if medication is something you might need to look at. Find a counselor. If you need phone numbers and names, call me, email me, message me, whatever, Twitter me, whatever, and I will send you a couple places and names and phone numbers of some really good people who have helped me. Because I've been to a couple different counselors over the year. I did counseling more recently too, at another place in town called Karis House, and that's a great place to go, especially if you don't have a lot of money to spend on it. They will work with your budget. So anyway, I have information if you need it. Don't say, well, where do I go? And I don't think I can afford it. And all those are just excuses. You need it. You need to put your health first. So reach out. All right. That's my challenge to you. Reach out and know that life can be better. It can be better. I've been in those really dark places. It can be better because my life has gotten a lot better through a lot of hard work and a lot of good people, but it's gotten better. And it's great now. It really is, man. We all have stuff we struggle with. And even I have to remember that. I have to remind myself of that. But life is awesome. Life is a gift. This world is awesome and beautiful, and we get to be in it, and we get to have friends and family, and we get to set goals and achieve those goals and work towards those goals. I mean, that's awesome. That's a reason to get up every day. So don't give up. Don't give up. Never give up. Keep working and reach out for help if you need help. Don't be afraid to do that. All right, thanks for tuning in. I feel like this episode was a little more serious than some. Some of them are going to be like that. Sorry if I wasn't funny enough and goofy enough. But no, I just had some real serious things on my mind, and I know there's other people out there dealing with that stuff. So thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. We're here every Wednesday. There's a new episode. We're on iTunes. We're on Google Play. We're on Stitcher now. So all you Stitcher people out there, we are on Stitcher. So look us up on Stitcher. You can get the Stitcher app on your phone and listen through there. The Living Loopy podcast is on there now. Please help me spread the word. If you know people who might be interested in the subject matter of health and fitness, or hip-hop fans, or just friends who are looking for some entertainment, please help me spread the word to the world and tell them to tune into the Living Loopy podcast. I appreciate that. I appreciate all you guys who listen. I appreciate you guys reaching out and all the comments you're giving me. Keep them coming. Again, if you need to reach us, livingloopy@gmail.com. Loopy is Luppy. Facebook.com/livingloopy. Twitter is loopy1. Or, just find me on the street and say hi. Or come out to one of my gigs and say hi. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys. I want you to know this is going to be an awesome week. We can overcome anything. So never, ever give up. All right? I'll see you guys next week.